Hello everybody. I was just starting to make the cover for my journal and thought I would show you what I'm doing. All I have is a cereal. Do I have a piece? Yeah. A Weet-Bix box, a cereal box, and I've just doubled it. See, that's just my part that I've cut off. I've just back-to-back it and glued it together just to make it a bit thicker than the actual box was. You can see I've had to join it, and that's the other side there. You can see the creases where the box actually folded, but I've put my own folds in for the spine. I've cut it. I cut it so it's 8 3/4 high, and these two sections are 5.5 inches. That one and that one, and then I've made a 1 3/4 inch spine, like so, and then I've just scored it down like that, so it's left a fold. This is another piece of the scrap that's been glued together, and I've used that for my inner spine. I've made my measurements. I'm having 3 signatures, and each signature is going to be stitched in 1/2 inch apart. What I've done is I've just spaced these about 1 1/4 inches apart. Yeah, about that. And that will give me 5 stitch holes. I don't want it dead straight like that, and I don't particularly like my spine really straight like that either. I like them to be a little bit more appear softer, and they're a little curved effect. Now you can just score them. A scoreboard out that I don't use very often. Might be a bit dusty. Okay, you can just score it to help it to bend a little bit. It's really thick, so it's a bit hard to score this way, to be honest. When I scored the cover, and this is a great alternative way if you don't have a scoreboard, because the card is so thick, I just got my ruler for the cover and I placed it on the line that I wanted to score, a little bit out from it actually, because and I just did it like that, and it worked perfectly well because it's really thick. See, I can do that, and I can see it on the other side, and if I wanted to with the cover, I scored on this side as well, but because this is the part and I only want to curve it a little bit, I don't need to do both sides. And so I can just, and I can go and do this side here as well, because I'm doing a hollow spine. I do like the hollow spine, especially when you've got more than one signature. I just think it makes it much easier to write in the book at the end. So that gives it a little bit more shape. I could do one in the middle as well, just to soften it up again. I will glue a bit of Tyvek to it, so it makes it even better. There we go. So bending it that way, but I'm actually going to be bending it the opposite way so I can see where my holes are in my spine when I'm making them. So we'll do that, and we'll do that. There's several different ways you can curve your spine, but that is one way. You do have little notches, but that will soften out over time, I'm presuming. So that's that. And I could do exactly the same, just scoring that a little bit. Or I could bend it over something like a rolling pin or something like that, just to give a nice curve. But I don't need to do that right now. This is the book. This is the journal so far. I've just brought it out, so that's sort of, you know, it's a nice fit in there. And that's the spine will go there like that. And that will be fine because that'll be squashed in a bit to fit on there. Okay. I did make a little file folder from that other vintage wallpaper pocket. See, there's the seam, the little bag thing that I had. There's the seam down the back where it had been glued, and I just cut it apart and just made a little file folder, just another little thing to put into the journal. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is to put some holes in here. I always get a bit worried at this section. And it never ends up being as bad as I think it's going to be, you know. I always think, oh, but it's never quite as bad. Now, I've got a... I think it's called a punch board. And this is from which Crafty you do. It's been sat out there in my trolley and gathering dust because that's how long it is since I've actually made a journal. Okay, you don't need to see all my dust. It's in my trolley, see? Yes, okay, there we go. I need something to lean on so I don't go through everything. Just to put some little holes in here. And there. And there. So I'm going to go and put holes in all those little markings I've left. Okay, so I've done the holes in the spine piece. I've also made a little guide for myself. I actually put the holes in the wrong spot, so I've put a cross through them so I don't use those. And this is just for my papers. So I've done this before on my channel. Oh, I probably need to... Yeah, I've done it before. And there are so many tutorials out there on how to bind your journals. So I'll just briefly go over it. First of all, remove all your tags and things because you don't want them slipping and getting caught up. That's if they're in there. I don't know if they're all in here. It's that they can go out. That can go out. Still need to do some decorating in here. That, and that. Okay, so you put your page, well, this is how I do it. You can use a book for this sort of thing as well, and like an old telephone book or something, you know, a soft sort of book, if you don't have this kind of gadget. Get your guide. Your guide goes like that. That is the size of my tallest page. It is not the size of my cover. Okay. So it's been bent. So you bend and put it in like that. What you normally do is put a T. That way, you know that's the top of your page. So you're not going to put it like that, just in case the holes are a little bit off. sorry, I'm trying to keep under the camera here. What I generally do before this is I put my signature in and I organize my pages how I want them to look, because they're not all the same size. So I kind of want that up there and that down there a bit, like that, just to add a bit of interest. I've got a flower there, so it's kind of stopping. Is that how I want it? No, I think I want that down a bit like that. Okay, like that. So you go along and you get your pages how you want them. You might bring that one down like that and bring that one up like that. Then we're in the middle, and I'll just make sure that's how I want it to be looking on that side. And that looks fine. So that's how I'm going to have it, like that. I'm going to place my little guide in there, flush with the top. And then get my awl. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it away. That was silly. And then what you can do is just clip them. And these aren't really big signatures, so they're not going to move around too much. You can use paper clips. You can use these little magic things just to hold the papers in place. And then all you do is put your holes in. Like that. Like that. Okay, and there's our first signature with our holes in the center there, ready to be bound. See, there's your holes there down the spine. So I'm going to go ahead now and do the other ones. And I need to put some tie-back on my spine. And then I'll be back. So that's all done. And I have to tell you, I'm so out of practice at this. It's been, I don't even know how long it's been since I made a journal, and I forget how to do it. So I've done my inside cover. I've stitched in, I think this was off a pillowcase a long time ago. I love the grey colour of it though. I thought it would look nice. And this lovely paper that's here and the bit behind it to make it a bit longer was from Margie from Mimi's Craft Shop on YouTube. Thank you, Margie. She sent, I think, she sent that to me quite a long time ago. And all I've done is I had to add, I had to make it 1/2 inch longer on either side so it fits my journal. And then I've just stitched here to hold that down nicely, and there's my pockets. I've run a zigzag along the edge there as well. I have punched all my holes. Let me just put that over there. Put that back. Put that back. I also punched some holes in this. Whether I use it or not, I'm not quite sure, because it does seem to add quite a lot of bulk. But what I thought, I would put it in a different place. So we'll see how we go with that. I'm using some waxed linen thread, and the idea is you do at least double and a little bit to spare. And I got this from Co-Beads, and I like this. I like this a lot. So let me find a decent needle that it will fit through nicely, and it's nice and long. It's a nice long needle, this one, which is good. And I think I'll start from the back. I hope that's long enough. Nice. Am I starting from the back? I think I am. Yep, that looks like the back. Okay, so I'm taking my first signature that's held together here. And what I'm going to do, this is my back one here. I'm going to start from the hidden part because I don't want long tassely bits in the middle of my signature. And I'm just going to sew one in for you. Like I said, there's lots of tutorials on people that know how to do this so much better than I do. But I said I would show you, so I'm going to. And what, this one's got an envelope in the middle. What I'm going to do is push that through there. You sort of keep it on an angle while you're pushing it through, because that's how you make the hole in the first place. Let's make sure we don't pull that through too far. Okay, so we're going back through. So we've come out in the middle. Then I'm going to go back through, making sure I'm on the same line that I'm meant to be on. I'm pushing that through like that, pulling it, and then once again we're going up through here, through that last one here, and I'm wanting to go back in through here. Oh, I hope I did make this long enough. Pays to have a clear area when you're doing this. Not always possible, but it would be helpful. I'm going, so I've come out here, I'm going back through this second one and back through that second hole. And as you see, I did glue some Tyvek onto this just to give it a little bit of added strength. Turning it again like that. Then I'm going to take it all the way down to this one. So I'm skipping the middle one. I'm going to take it all the way down to that one there. So going up there and through this one, making sure we get inside of the envelope. And now back through here. Do make sure your signature's the right way round when you're sewing it in. Just double check. That's all you've got to do. Why don't you want to go in? There. And have that there. Okay, sometimes it's hard to see where your holes are. Like I can't see where my hole is there. So what I'm going to do is just put that through there. Okay, so now I can see where my hole is coming up through there and aim my needle through that hole there. Like that. And we're almost done. So, I should make it. It should be fine. Now we're going to go back in through this one here and into that hole there. And then lastly, we're going back into the middle hole where we started, where we came up through to start with, and back through that hole. And I do like to sort of like get it on the other side of the thing there so I can tie the knot over the top. So let's just take that out. That. Now, see how that's quite loose there? We don't want that loose because your pages will end up quite loose if you do that. So you kind of got to fiddle around with it and tighten it up. Okay, so it's nice and snug. And then you do 2 or 3 knots. Like that. And just push it. This is waxed, so if you actually push that, it will help to meld the thread together, so it won't come undone. So there we go. I'm just going to cut them like that, and they're going to be hidden, so I can do that. And we can now take all these off. Rearrange my envelope so it goes like that, and that's it. That is the last signature into the book. Oh, I left one of my things in too, didn't I? So now I'm going to do the same for the second one and for the third one, but with the second one I was wondering whether I might put that in around it rather than inside it. Like, I've got to move those over there for a minute. So have that like that and have it on the outside like that, which I think would work better than it being inside. So I think that's probably what I might do. I'll just have to line it up. I only put 3 holes in it. 1, 2, 3, because it was a little bit longer. The hole was right on the edge, and I didn't want it right on the edge, so I just put the 3 on. So I think that's what I'll do, and then I'll be back once I've sewn them all in. Then I'll be back. All done, and the pieces that are left on the end, I don't throw them away if they've got a good length on them. I keep them because these are excellent for threading through buttons and things like that, because they're waxed, they're a little bit stiff, and so you can quite easily thread your buttons with all these little bits that are left over, or make mini journals, little ones. You know, you only need a bit of thread for something like that. So I always keep, I mean, if it's only that long, I probably don't worry too much. I can't keep everything, but if it's got a good length on it, I will always keep it and put it aside. So all 3 are now sewn in the right way around. It's always handy. I need to just I haven't checked making sure they're all straight. I'm pretty sure they are. I hope so anyway. It looks alright. I haven't put the tags and things back in. That's that insert, which helps to sort of, you know, deal with that little gap that we get between the signatures. They look fine. It's fine there. Oh, I thought it was crooked, but it's not. It's the tag in the thing that was crooked. So there's still a bit more work to do, of course. It's the centre, got that tag in there. I did go ahead and make a cut. Oh, see, I didn't take that out either, but that's okay. Oh, that. Goodness, I left a lot in that one, but it hasn't got caught, so just as well. So I showed you that I made the little file folder. I made that. What else did I make? Okay. The other day I I cut out another envelope. This is from some wrapping paper. I think they're the Gibson girls. From Rena. She sent me quite some time ago, so I just made a little envelope out of the wrapping paper. So I think I'll put that in there because the colours are nice. I did print some printables out that I've had on my computer for a long time. If I can find where they're from, I will. And I've just backed them with some tea-stained paper and stitched around those. So I've done those. I also made a little pocket just out of a cereal bag. A little hair clip thing. And I just put a bow and a flower with a bead on that. And in there I've just got another printable. I haven't stitched around that one yet, so I need to stitch around that. And a piece of paper just to doodle on or something like that. And I've used some Crafty Me shop lace on the front of that one as well. So I need to stitch around that one. I'll put that in there. So, I've got covers here. And that's got to go in there, like that. Why does it always look like it won't fit? I have this problem just about every time. See how it fits when it's like that, but then if you let go, it doesn't fit. So you kind of got to glue it on. Now, I learnt how to make this, and I'll put the link on I'll put the name on the screen. I learned how to do this quite some time ago. But before I do, I think I need to perhaps do my outer cover because I won't be able to stitch it once it's put together. But what you basically do is line it up and you get... where are they? Oh, here we go. Here's some. You get yourself some large paper clips. Let's just put that needle away before we lose it. And get yourself the large paper clips. And you get it into the right spot, like that. You kind of put that like that, and put that like that. And you go to this side and you make sure it's all lined up here as well. And you put one there like that. And another one like that. And of course you can also put one there. Have I got any more? They're not very big. Oh, I do. Oh my goodness. I've got a whole container. That's unusual. Been holding out on me. And you maneuver it so it's nice and straight. And you put one there, like that. And one on this side. Oops, I think I just moved the whole thing down accidentally. That's a bit better. Like that. The same over here. Oops. And this is mainly to keep it in the right spot. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That may need to be trimmed down a little bit. I feel like it needs manoeuvring this way a little bit. Just a bit. Like that. That looks about right. Like that and like that. And then, but I can't do it right now because I haven't done my cover. But what you do is, you don't glue the spine, you glue all this part here. Or you don't have to make this as big as that. You can make this just a small piece there and then put a piece of decorative paper over the top. But I just made mine one piece. So I need another one there to hold it. Oh my goodness. Like there. Like that. Then you glue all of this and then put it down. So it may need a little trim once I'm done. You glue it down like that, and then you flip it over and you do the same on that side. I need to fiddle with it a bit more. I love the way it is when it's done, because it just, you know, the pages, look how nicely they lay flat. It's really nice. You can write on things. They're not just popping up in the middle. It's a really nice way of doing a journal. Yeah, and then you glue that one down like that. But I may put like a bit of lace down first, and I'll probably decorate these pockets a little bit as well. Yeah, you just play until you're happy with how it sits. See how that, it's right on the edge there. And if I do that there, it's kind of just, it could be maneuvered over just a little bit. But you don't want to do it too much. You want it to, it feels, when you make it, I always feel like it doesn't fit, but it always ends up working out. And I don't know the science behind all that, but it does. It always seems to work out, so I just go with it. But I need to think about a cover. And I don't particularly want that straight either. So I need to give that some sort of a, you know, a helping hand to curve around like that. I prefer that kind of shape to my spine than a square spine, and I usually just fiddle with it until I get the right. It just looks more natural, like an older book would. You know, it's had some wear and tear. So, see, I will glue it on, but I'll probably put a stitch line down here, but I might add a little bit of sari silk or something like that to the edge to just ruffle it up a little bit. So that is how I'm binding my book. And the next video I put up, I think it'll be of the completed book. I haven't made a cover yet. I really do want to get this done. It seems to be taking forever. So I need to think about what kind of cover. But that'll be a surprise, and that'll be the last video. As I said, I've shown you, told you what to do. Just stick it on or stitch as much as you want. You need a cover though. Put the cover on first and then attach the inside. I think that is the best way to go. Yeah, I think so. And I need to take these off anyway. I'll just tell you something. before you glue it on, you could also watch fabrics and laces. When you're taking paper clips out, they sometimes get stuck. Like that one. There we go. Careful. There we go. Also, if you want to put a decorative lace on that, on the edge of that, and on the bottom, like, I'm not saying I'm going to use this, but just as an example, you could have a little bit of that around the top of the spine there. That would look pretty, or a bit of cheesecloth. That would look pretty on it. But stick it on. Bring it down just a little bit so you don't see that you've just stuck it on there. See, look, I've got this. That's quite pretty, but I don't want to just lose all that. See, that's really pretty, isn't it? Trying to think, what can I use? That's a good example. Even, you know, sari silks and things like that work nice around there. Or ribbons. A bit of ribbon. Or anything you like, really. When I'm thinking of something I can't. Oh, see, something like that would be nice too. What's that? Oh. That's a selvage edge. A selvage edge would work well on something like that. Or even just a little bit of fabric with a frayed edge would be pretty on the edge of that as well. And it, you know, it just has to be around the spine thing. You could just do that where it goes up, but then aimed down at the corners, a bit like that. You could do that. I mean, you could glue it all the way down. Just don't glue it to this part here. Right. Okay, I'm going to say that's it for this video because I want to get on making a cover so it's not dragged out for too long and come back and show you it all completed. So take care, everybody. Bye.